G'day all, it's Colin from PC TLC and thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be doing another Debian install on VirtualBox. Sorry to bore you with that, but it's just something I hope it doesn't bore you, because I found it quite interesting. Now, one thing I want to bring up here is the comments on this Debian 9.6 install and setup on VirtualBox. People say there's not enough videos about Debian. Barely anyone I'm subbed to makes Debian videos, so this upload does justice. That was from Randomizer. Thank you very much for that. Steve, brilliant, thanks. No worries. And Bruno was telling me 9.7 is out. Yep, my timing was a bit poor, but I'd been working on it for a while. I was committed to it, so I thought I'd just run with it. But Don Henderson here said, nice video, thanks for making it. One thing with the install, if you do the advanced options in the advanced install, you have the option to enable backports and non-free software during the installation. Also, if you don't allow login as root, I think sudo is enabled by default. He's not sure on that one, as I always like a root user, but actually I can tell you, Don, you're spot on. That is the case. And I'm going to run through that with a advanced install, which I found quite interesting. So I've done that install on real hardware, works perfect. I thought I'd just show you how to do it, because obviously I cannot film an install for Debian. It's a little bit hard. So here we got advanced options. Well, actually the I'll cancel that. I'm just going to close it down, power that down. I might set that to UEFI, because that's what I was doing on the computer, which is system enable EFI. Okay, and let's start that again, because the menu is completely different in EFI. It's actually prettier. Don't know about VirtualBox, but it is on real hardware, so that's actually not booting. So I don't know what the issue is there. So it works EFI on real hardware anyway, so that's a bit disappointing that's not working, but let's try it with the standard install then, if that's the case. Should still be the same. So I went for the advanced graphical expert install, which one is the one that I chose, graphical expert install. I'm going to use the mouse throughout this install. We'll just double click these things. It's English, Australia for me, and continue. I didn't install nothing there, because I've already selected it. That's just in case you need extra, I believe. I'll just continue that, don't need to do anything there, don't need to do anything there. That's just software for a blind person using a braille, and configure the speech synthesizer voice. I don't need to worry about those. Configure the keyboard as American English, that's correct. We can continue, or we can double click, same thing. Let's continue. And auto detection was successful. Load the installer components from the CD. Actually, I don't check anything off there. Configure the network, auto configure, yep. 3 seconds is just the time it takes to look for the internet, I believe. It's by default for 3 on all occasions throughout the install anyway. If you're doing wireless like I do, then you'll probably find this comes up a couple more times. So we'll dash vert, we'll do the same thing as before. I'm not interested in a domain. I don't have a domain. Set up users and passwords. Now, allow login as root. So this is what Don Henderson was talking about. Also, if you don't allow login as root, I think sudo is enabled. So you just go no on that one, and he's spot on. It's not sudo is enabled after you do that. And enable shadow passwords. I just tick yes and continue. Enter the real name. NTFR, yep, we'll do that, and that's by default, yep, and we'll go to Western Australia, detect disks, partition disks, manual, I always do, that one there, create new empty partition, yes. Have to be MS-DOS, I suppose. Create new partition. We'll just give just 1 gigabyte of swap will do. Primary. Beginning. Use as swap area. Now, the other thing I do here is when I there's no EFI there. Oh, actually, no, there's no EFI option. So I normally choose the, when I'm doing on real hardware, I've got a FAT32 512 megabyte partition, and there's normally a EFI selection here, and I normally select that. But what I do is I normally, if you do an EFI with this, I normally delete the partition and redo it, just the EFI partition. I find if you delete it and recreate it, you have better results on that. So I just thought I would explain that. This one is swap area. I've done setting that up. This one here, create a new partition. 16 gig. Primary. Uses that, yes. Mount point is root, yep. So it's done that automatically. You can double click and check that, double click and check that. And done setting the partition. Finish the partitioning, write changes, yes. So we'll install the base partition. Now, I'm hoping someone can tell me the difference here. I just select this image here, and that's what I did on my laptop. But I'm not sure whether there's a big difference between those two, but I'll just go with that one anyway. And I just go for all available drivers. It probably, more drivers than what you need, but it's gonna be a little bit fatter, but not really too much, I wouldn't think so. It's better off to have all the drivers there just in case. That's just my opinion anyway. So if you wish to scan another, no, I don't want to scan another DVD. Use a network mirror, yes. HTTP, it says. It's best by default. And Australia, and I've been using this one. It's been working well, no problem. I don't want a proxy. Now here we go. Use non-free software, yes. So there's the option there that I didn't have in the normal install. That's just fantastic. So use non-free software, yes. Enable source repositories in apt, yes. And then after that we get also the backported software. So we get to choose backports as well. So that in effect has saved me a lot of running around the internet, copy and pasting commands and stuff. This is good. So I'd just like to say, Don Henderson, thank you very much for that. That's a great tip. And just to let you know, that all works well. So I'm very appreciative of that. I'm appreciative of everybody who comments on my videos, and this is what it's all about, is, you know, learning stuff, and that's what I like to do, and things that make your life easier. I think we all like that. Select and install software. I don't want to participate in the survey. And I just select GNOME all the time. I actually like the GNOME desktop. The only thing I don't like about it, as you'll probably see in the real hardware video I've made already, there's a couple of things. There's no minimize buttons on there. That drives me absolutely crazy. I'll probably change that. But I didn't change it in the video, but I will change it. That's the only thing with the GNOME. Actually, while we're making this, I'll just check out my laptop and see if there is something in Tweak that I can change the buttons. I think there must be. Minimize and maximize, there it is. Okay, so we have minimize and maximize in the Tweak tool under top bar. I think it was. No, it was under Windows. Windows, title bar buttons, maximize, minimize, toggle them on, done deal. Right, so that's the software installed. Install the bootloader. Yes. To there, yep. Now I'm not quite sure what this, I just say yes, force installation to EFI. In this case, no. But on the EFI install I do, because I didn't do an EFI on this one. Finish the partition. Yep. Installation finished. Let's enter that. Now we're not going to worry about guest additions and all that sort of stuff. I'll log in for the first time. You know, I use too many passwords. Okay, so let's have a look here, and let's open up a terminal, and we'll do a sudo apt update and password, and as you can see, sudo is working, not a problem at all. So that's excellent. And then the rest you'll see, because the install is pretty much exactly the same besides the EFI on the real hardware, and you can see the rest on my real hardware video. You can check the rest out there. So I'm very happy with the results of that, and the information provided by Don Henderson there is just priceless. So thank you very much for that. He shared with me, and I'm sharing with everyone, because it's good to know how you can do an install and have a lot of the other things already done for you instead of trolling the internet for stuff. So I'll see you on the real hardware. So here I am on real hardware, and I have installed Debian onto my Toshiba laptop. I've done many installs and reinstalls trying to get NVIDIA working. So far no success. So what I've done so far is just update, got rid of the CD-ROM, check in the repos. So we'll just have a quick look at that. So I went to settings and repos, other software, and unchecked the CD-ROM. And I also, if we have a look, I did sudo remove remove Etsy app trusted.gpg, which is the key rings, because they always go out of sync or out of whack or whatever they do, and then do another update, and then I did an upgrade, and then all's done. So, and then I installed Simple Screen Recorder, and that's where I'm up to. So we're just going to have a quick look at installing our multimedia. So let's go to the amp up your multimedia, and as you've probably seen in the install on VirtualBox, the back ports are installed, and also the contrib and non-free as well. Let's just have a quick look at our other and computer. This preferences. I don't know why that's not by default, seriously. That's annoying. Where am I? Etsy at sources.list, and we can probably open that with other application, text editor, and we've got the non-free, and this is the repos that have come down. And if we have a look at Synaptic as well, I think that might be settings and repos, other software, stretch back ports is in there. And oh yeah, that's the one there. So it shows up in the repos in there as well. So let's have a look at we've done the key rings and all that, so that should all be good. So we'll start off with the GStreamer. Just want to see how we go with real hardware on this one. I forgot my sudo. So as you can see, sudo is working because we chose not to install as root or whatever it was on VirtualBox. So, and when you do that in the advanced install, that means if you choose not to install as root or whatever that selection was, then you get the sudo option straight away, straight out of the box. So that's pretty good. Okay, that's that one done. Oh, I forgot to do it again, didn't I? Blu-ray I'm not fussed about, and I will install a VLC. It's always recommended anyway. It doesn't take long. Now I'm not going to attempt another NVIDIA install at this point in time because it's just got me nowhere. I think NVIDIA doesn't like my video card. Debian. I think Debian doesn't like my video card, my NVIDIA card, I don't think. Yes, agree to that. Enter upgrade, automatic upgrades, yes, definitely. Okay, and paste, that's sudo again. Okay, now if we have a look in the software department, yep, Calc, I haven't updated that yet, still on 5. So I just want to see whether that still works. Yep, 5272. Okay, so that's done. So what I want to do is actually, we'll go to a new workspace. I'm just going to try This computer has DVD player, so I'm just going to stick a DVD in there and see whether all those codecs have worked. On Debian, let's try a VLC. Open disk, DVD, play. Let's have a look, see if it'll play the movie. And there we go. I've got no sound, but don't know what happened to the sound there. Might have to have a look at my sound settings. Oh, it's on the yeah, it's on my headphones. So DVD working. Let's eject that. So that's pretty good. Happy with that. And no doubt Handbrake will work as well. So that's multimedia installed in Debian. That's everything I know that we pretty much need. I don't have a Blu-ray, so there was no extra ones to worry about there. Now, what I want to do now is I want to try those backports. So it would be sudo install, sudo apt install -t stretch backports LibreOffice. And let's update that so the backports are working definitely. Okay, so that is LibreOffice installed, so let's check that out. And LibreOffice 6.1.5.1. So backports are working fine. I'm very impressed at the speed in which just straight Debian works. It's pretty good actually. So is it worth having a look around the desktop? Probably not. I've got to theme it yet. I haven't themed anything yet, so maybe I'll do that while I'm on here. GNOME look. Now I think these ones down here, I'm pretty sure these are the popularity ones here. So I always like to do, now actually Papyrus may be able to install Papyrus off the bat. Sudo apt install, actually no, that's I'm not sure what the name is, so we'll try Synaptic. A better chance in there. Search for Papyrus. Papyrus icon theme, beautiful. So I don't have to worry about downloading that. Let's apply that, apply that. Okay, so that's the Papyrus done. Now the theme I like to install on GNOME is one called Pro Dark. I quite like that. Let's have a look, see if I can find it. Pro Dark. It'd help if I use the right keyboard. Pro Dark. Okay, so let's go to downloads, cut that into, settings, seriously, where are they all? Should just try Control H, shouldn't I? And dot themes. Extract here, just make sure there's no subfolders. Go to settings. Actually, no, we probably need to go to Tweak tool, isn't it? Which comes by default in Debian, GNOME. Appearance, we'll go for Pro Dark. And the icons will be Papyrus. So I haven't done a shell theme yet, that's fine. But for shell theme, we can choose to user themes here. So if you have a look at the extensions, the appearance, you haven't got that up for selection, but if you go to extensions and toggle on the user themes, then you'll find that that would be available once you've got a theme in there, I suppose. Now the other ones I like to use, if we go back to the GNOME look page, is the Telenkran and Erringen. Now there's a lot of those, so we'll just try, let's see, on the right, we'll do the right one first. And that's Erringen buttons right as well. Let's just do those ones to start with. So let's go to downloads. Themes, paste those and extract here. So that's got a subfolder. And the Erringen, that's a subfolder as well, so cut that out of there. And let's have a look at those. Tweak. That's that one there. It's quite nice. It looks a bit blotted with all these squares everywhere, that one. That's the only thing with that one. And then you got the Erringen. So we'll try that one. That one's not too bad. That one looks a little bit out of place. But I think the Pro Dark is the best one out of those, I believe. And the file manager looks nice and neat in the Pro Dark as well. So I do like that, and I like the colours. So that's pretty cool. So that's my Debian setup at the moment. There's probably a little bit more to do, but I'm pretty happy with the way that looks at the moment. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting and informative, and thank you for watching.